Most business gurus and marketing experts are telling everyone to niche down in order to stand out. But the truth is, not every successful creative has gone down this path. I had made way more than $100,000 before we even considered finding a niche. And even now, I'd say that we've got so many niches. Do we even have a niche? Especially in the early days, by broadening your scope will help you develop new skills, new creative ideas, and get a mix of businesses under your belt. And having all of that extra portfolio and knowledge that you have from different industries will not only help you to interlink them, but it's going to create more opportunities for growth. Now, the typical advice for finding a niche is really just to pick a market that you like and just focus on that and nothing else. And that can ultimately limit creative freedom because you're not giving yourself enough diversity, different things. You'll just become hyper-focused on the same thing, which means you can then just end up sticking to the same genre, the same style for the next however many years. It also makes it really hard to pivot outside of that niche because everything ends up being so focused on that one area that if the industry changes or shifts, or let's say there's a pandemic or something that happens and you're in the events niche, well, guess what? That was like 3 years of no events. So that would be no work and it would be extremely hard to pivot to anything else. You basically risk missing out on diverse opportunities that would come from different industries and different businesses. You might have heard the term jack of all trades, master of none. In modern times, that's used as a way to kind of put down people who do lots of things. But the traditional saying was jack of all trades, master of none is oftentimes better than a master of one. And it was actually given or said to entrepreneurs as a way of saying that you are able to adapt. You're a true entrepreneur. You can lend your hand to many things and be good at it. And that can oftentimes be better than just focused on one thing and not having that ability to adapt. Think about super successful creatives like Elon Musk. He doesn't have a defined niche. He's gone from tech to space to whatever you would say Neuralink is, energy solutions, and so on and so forth. Even looking through a slightly different lens with other creators like Jordan Welch or Iman Gadzhi, with those guys, they have diversified. So not only have they got, for instance, drop shipping or social media ads, they've then moved into YouTube space. They've moved into mentoring, coaching, and basically expanded into many other business models. The benefits of having a more broad focus is the fact that there can be different income streams. Having skills in different areas allows you to diversify. So let's say within video production, you could also do video licensing, you could do tutorials, YouTube, you could help people in lots of different areas. And clients love this because when you cater to multiple pain points, you position yourself as an expert in lots of different fields. The fact that you can actually solve more than one problem means that that's a benefit to that company who's hiring you. And in creative entrepreneurs like you, this is actually the easiest to see. When you look at a portfolio, you might have things like, corporate, sports, different niches within that. You might do events, could do weddings. You would have a diverse portfolio, which means you can jump from one thing to another. And a lot of creatives like the fact that that freedom is very much a case of, whatever they decide that they want to do, what they enjoy at that time, and every day being different. Now, before I give you some strategies to succeed without a niche, I think it's important to say that niching does have a lot of benefits. However, I think the biggest problem that I have with niching is I speak to so many young entrepreneurs, freelance filmmakers and video editors, and they tell me, Ross, what niche should I have? And I say, okay, well, how long has your business been going? And they say, well, I'm just started, or I'm in my first year. And I say, well, you don't know then. You don't know what you enjoy. You don't know what you like. You haven't gone out there and just run a business and dealt with clients and learned. And sometimes people try and run into this as if a niche is a magic pill that they can take to scale their business, and all of a sudden, because of online gurus, you've been told you can charge whatever you want. So does that mean that when I wake up tomorrow and decide that I want to have a hyper-focused niche to people who fit solar panels on roofs of houses, they're the companies I'm going for, I can charge tens of thousands? No, because I need to understand that industry inside out. A true niche is about being able to speak their language, understand their pain points, what they're looking for, their challenges, their desires, their goals. Knowing everything about that ideal customer makes the niche really important, but you don't have to start there. Because you could also just pick a really bad niche. So here are some strategies to succeed. By focusing on a personal brand over niching down will help showcase your variety of work that you can do and the types of services that you offer. And people will ultimately get to know you and like you as a person, and that's the person they will want to solve their problems. And you can simply do that by focusing on your story and your unique perspective of how you can help people with video production. Another strategy would be to offer solutions, not categories. So instead of saying I'm only focused on this one niche as an area, maybe you focus on the solution that you provide. So let's say recruitment videos. There are loads of businesses out there in many different niches that are suffering right now with recruitment. If that ends up being a focus point for you, then that's something that you can really help businesses with. It might be that that doubles up with website videos and social media content to promote that recruitment angle, or to help other businesses simply just stand out and bring their brand to life. So you can focus on the type of work over the category the work is in. Consistent messaging and diversification, but slowly. So consistent messaging is all about just repeating that message over and over again so people know exactly what you do. Even if your brand covers various fields, keeping that brand message is going to be really key so that it makes sense to the most people. So maybe focusing on the value that you provide, or looking for what's that consistent thread that links all of your work together. Now, with any kind of diversification, you want to make sure you're not too reactive. Something happens in industry or with a client 1 second, you don't want to jump straight ship to another. You don't want to quickly jump into YouTube when you're only in your first day of running a company. By expanding gradually allows you to see where the demand lies, and then you can follow what you enjoy and where the money is. Over time, I'm convinced that most people will end up in a niche, and I don't have a problem with that. The thing I have a problem with is when most people start out in business and they think they need a niche from day one, and they make the wrong decision and it really limits their growth, or they don't even make a start on growing their business because they think a niche is so important, I can't start till I have a niche. And that's why picking a niche can hinder growth for so many people. If you're ready to break free from that niche trap and grow a diverse brand, and you want some honest, transparent, real-world advice to help you on your journey to get you that 1% closer to your goal, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And why not take a look at this video where I started a production company again from scratch and managed to land a client within just 3 days. Go check that out. I'll see you in there. Peace.